Have you ever felt like your prayers have no effect? Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have such a deep connection with heaven, while others feel alone even when they pray? What if I told you there's a secret the saints knew and lived? Something so powerful, it could even change the hardest of hearts. Would you believe? My child, come closer. I want to show you something that can completely transform the way you speak with me. Prayer. Oh, prayer. It's not just a moment in your day. It's the breathing of your soul, like the gentle breeze Elijah felt in the cave when he realized that God wasn't in the earthquake, nor in the fire, but in that sacred silence. That silence is where the saints found me. And it's where I want to take you today. Many people think that to pray, you need to recite long formulas, use complicated words, or have deep theological knowledge. But the saints, they understood that true prayer comes from the heart. It's a simple, sincere, intimate conversation. It's opening your heart like someone handing over a letter written with tears and hope. Saint Therese of Lisieux once said, "For me, prayer is a surge of the heart, a simple glance toward heaven, a cry of gratitude and love." See, it's not about quantity, it's about truth. It's about being fully present, even in silence. Speaking of silence, did you know that many saints cultivated what they called contemplative prayer? They would sit still, close their eyes, breathe deeply and simply. They didn't say anything, they just felt. And in that feeling, they knew I was there, sitting beside them, touching their wounds, healing their pain, illuminating their darkness. But to reach that point, you must take one step at a time. That's why many used methods, simple yet profound. One was Lectio Divina, a prayerful reading of my word. They didn't rush like flipping through a newspaper. They savored each verse like warm bread baked by the Father's hands, slowly, in silence. Then they reflected, meditated, talked to me about it, and finally rested in contemplation. Another precious method was the examination of conscience, known as examen. At the end of the day, the saints would sit with me and revisit every moment. They remembered the joys, the stumbles, the encounters, and they'd ask me, "Lord, where were you in this moment? What did you want to teach me here?" It was like opening a diary before me, without fear, without masks, just surrender. My child, I want to invite you. What if tonight, before you sleep, you close your eyes and speak to me like a friend speaks to another friend? What if instead of repeating words, you simply breathe and say, "Jesus, I'm here, and I want to hear you"? That is the prayer that touches heaven. That is the prayer that transforms hearts. That is the prayer the saints lived. My child, prayer doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs to be sincere. I'm not impressed by fancy words or long speeches, but I am deeply moved when you pour your heart out with honesty. It's in that vulnerable space that the saints found me. They didn't come out of obligation. They came because they desired an encounter. The saints didn't pray out of habit, they prayed out of love. And because they loved, they never wanted to miss a moment with me. Let me show you something perhaps no one's ever told you before. Prayer is a bridge. Yes, a bridge between the visible and the invisible, between the now and the eternal. When you pray, you enter a sacred space where I, the creator of all things, choose to lean in and listen to every beat of your heart. That's why many saints sought silence. Not the silence of absence, but the silence of presence. The kind of silence that isn't empty, but filled with me. They knew that in stillness, my voice could be heard like a gentle whisper that comforts, guides, and transforms. I want you to learn something practical now. Simple but powerful. Prepare the space to receive me. Saints would find a quiet corner, a peaceful place, a sanctuary. They lit a candle, picked up their Bible, shut out the world to connect with heaven. You can do the same. It doesn't require luxury, just intention. And when you begin to pray, don't come rushing. Take a deep breath. Place your hands over your heart. Feel it beat. Then say, Lord, I'm here. Speak to me. I'm listening. In that moment, heaven leans in. I draw near. I sit beside you. The saints also understood that there are different forms of prayer. They used vocal prayers, like the Our Father or the Hail Mary. They used meditative prayers, reflecting on my word. And they practiced intercessory prayers, praying for others, even when they didn't know them. They understood that to pray for someone else is to light a candle in their darkness. You can do this too. Choose a verse, read it slowly, feel it, then talk to me about it. How do you feel? What am I revealing to you? Then close your eyes and simply be. Don't try to control, just be. And if your heart feels heavy, pour it all out. I can handle it. I understand. I don't judge you. I only want to heal you. And here's another precious key. Something many forget, but the saints always practiced the intercession of the saints themselves. They knew they weren't alone on this journey. They knew they could count on those who had already run the race, and now intercede for you, not as gods, but as elder siblings in faith, spiritual companions. When you're without strength, ask for help. Say, Saint Therese, teach me to trust. Saint Francis, help me love the simple. Saint Augustine, show me how to overcome the flesh. Saint Anthony, guide me through inner silence. They will hear you, and they will point to me, because all of them found me. And now they live so that you may find me too. So breathe, my child. You're not alone, and you are closer to heaven than you think. My child, it's time you understand something the saints deeply knew. Prayer isn't just a moment, it's a way of living. A constant state of presence where even without words, you walk with me, breathe with me, act with me. Remember that time you thought of someone and felt the urge to pray for them? That was the Spirit whispering inside you. That tightness in your chest that made you kneel without knowing what to say? That was me calling. That moment of unexpected peace you felt. I was there. You don't need to feel perfect to pray like a saint. They also had doubts, falls, dark days. But you know what they did in those moments? They kept praying, sometimes with tears, sometimes in silence. But they never stopped placing themselves before me, because they knew I'm a father. And no, Father rejects a wounded child running into his arms. I want you to build a routine with me. Not something heavy, but something light, like a conversation between friends. In the morning, before you get up, say, Good morning, Lord, guide my day. Throughout the day, between tasks, take a breath and say, Jesus, I'm here. At night, before sleeping, give thanks. Thank you for today. Even if it was hard, you were with me. These small gestures form a praying heart, and a praying heart transforms the world around it. Remember when I told you about the interceding saints? Well, each one of them can inspire you in a specific area of your life. Facing impossible causes, Speak to Saint Jude Thaddeus, feeling fear. Saint Therese of Avila said, "Let nothing disturb you, let nothing frighten you, all things pass." Seeking purity. Saint Dominic Savio will help you. Family crisis? Speak to the Holy Family. Each saint is a mirror reflecting my light in a unique way, but never forget, they always point to me. My child, maybe you feel like you still don't know how to pray like them. But let me tell you a secret. The simple fact that you want to pray like a saint is already holiness blooming within you. I'm preparing you for something greater, a deeper intimacy, a life where prayer is not just a need, but a joy, where praying is like breathing, where your heart becomes an altar, and your life becomes a love letter written to heaven. So don't stop, even when the world is noisy, even if you don't see immediate results. Keep going, persevere, call out to me, I will listen. And one day when you look back, you'll see that every silent prayer, every tear shed in secret, every "Our Father" whispered in the dark, were seeds, seeds I watered with love, and they blossomed into miracles inside and around you. Now breathe with me. Close your eyes and simply say, "Lord, teach me to pray like a saint and to live as your child." And I will reply, "I already am, my beloved. I already am." If this message touched your heart, share it with someone. Write your prayer experience in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to keep walking with me. See you in the next prayer.